by a steel company who also makes steel. And from we also make steel, now we are like we also make tomorrow. The tagline of Tata Steel is, I think you have noticed. And incidentally, the tagline of Steel Day 2024 is like, building tomorrow. So just a coincidence, we have not influenced that. So many of you have noticed me speaking in Steel Day because I am from Tata Structura. I hate that part. I think over the years, Tata Structura used to present in Steel Day, but this time we have joined. So Parag is here for a reason. This time we have joined as a whole Tata Steel because we felt that there is a need to communicate to all that what Tata Steel is doing in this construction space. So I'll take it forward, and Parag will also connect for a few particular area where he is expert. So when we talk about Tata Steel, and to many of you, like first thing comes like Tata Tiscon, Tata Shakti, which is our GC sheet, Tata Strum, which is like our HR sheets and plates, Steelium, Tata Pipes used to be on generic name, and then Tata Varan. So more of our product lines, and it was there for decades. And if you see last 10 years or maybe last decades, and the way we are continuing in this particular decade, that we're more into solutions like Tiscon Ready Build and SmartFab, which Parag will take over. And important to mention that in the morning there was a fire chat where Girish sir was mentioning that probably IIT Bombay has started BTech in steel and BTech in concrete separately, and we really agree to him that it cannot be separate. So concrete and steel, it should go hand on hand, and then because for every superstructure, so in Steel Day we talk about mostly superstructures and we promote steel in superstructure, but we should not forget the importance of foundation also. And Parag will tell that how we can reduce the effort of foundation also, which is a very critical part for the overall project. We have from oil divisions, we have LRPCs, which are also very important for steel constructions as a whole. We have 3D fencing solutions from Tata Structura, so I'll definitely cover that. And Tata EasyFit is a new brand, which is like a door window frame with tubes. We have a Nestin. So Prakhar was here in the morning. He is leading the Nestin team. We have a whole lot of steel-based construction solutions. So I'll touch upon that part as well. And Tata Probase is a known brand for doors and windows, steel-based doors and windows. So we feel proud by saying that we are there for 70 airports in India. We are there for 160 million square feet of PV building. So many of our customers are here who are into PVs and who are our esteemed customers, and we serve them. We have participated in 15 metro stations, 10 gigawatt of solar energy, and contributed building of 1,000 plus buildings, and maybe more than 10,000 kilometers of cross-country pipelines with our tubes. So I would request to start the AV, which is there, which will cover the area where Tata Steel is focusing, especially in this game of construction. Please run the AV.
Good evening, everyone. As it was mentioned during the introduction that I'm part of Tata Steel's TMT projects and solutions, so I'm going to take over that part. But before that, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the last presentation, so we have to play a role of a finisher, just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Both of us will have to play that role. It is mentioned that we are part of TMT projects and solutions. So solutions to what? Solutions to the problems which construction industry is facing. So I'll be focusing more on the TMT reinforcement part. So what are the challenges that the industry is facing per se? So the major problem that is there predominantly being observed in the industry is wastage and its handling. Normally 3 to 6% is the normal range which we see is the wastage which comes out. Shorter delivery time. So everything customer wants on a yesterday basis. Whenever the drawings is finished, he says that, "Arey, ye to kal hona chahiye tha. Aap aaj complete karo." So there's always a timeline pressure on the contractors. High cost overrun. So historically, construction industry has been facing this challenge. Reconciliation. This is one of the headache for a project manager as to how much material came and how much got consumed in the industry in the project. Space constraint and moving site. So this is one of the newer problem which urban sites are facing where there's a space constraint. Then you have another problem which is unavailability of manpower. This is specifically post-COVID that because the reverse migration of laborers industry is facing this challenge. Losses, that is through pilferages, transit losses, weight tolerances. This is another area through which the construction contractor or client faces losses. And last is difficult shapes. So the consultant wants to adopt newer designs, but is not able to execute because there are a lot of challenges when it comes to execution at the site. So to address this problem, we've got a solution which is called Tiscon Ready-Build Cut and Bend solution. So these kind of complex shapes we are able to offer through this Tiscon Ready-Build Cut and Bend solution. And this we are able to do through this kind of automatic machineries, the state-of-art machineries that we've got across India, across 32 locations we have. For the nearest one, if I can talk about, we have it two such factories of cut and bend in Taloja, from where we are serving multiple projects, which are marquee projects. If I can talk about, is Bullet Train project, wherein we are supplying cut and bend to L&T across multiple packages, which is there in Gujarat. And for Maharashtra also, where the construction would be starting shortly. So there also we are under discussion. Another solution which we've got is coupler, which is used for lapping purpose. Conventionally, you've got joggling and then you do lapping of the reinforcement, which consumes almost 10% extra steel. So which is an additional cost to the customer. So to do away with that, we've got a Tiscon ready-built couplers, which is used for lapping. So it serves two purposes. One, it saves your cost because you'll be saving that 10% extra, which is getting consumed in the lapping. And second is the load would be transferred actually. Right now with the joggling process, the load is transferred through concrete bonding, which is a conventional way of doing the construction. But if you have another solution which will help you fast track the process as well as save the material, why not explore this? So this is another solution which you've got. So maybe to run over the economics, I'll just take 30 seconds to explain why it is beneficial to go for a coupler than the conventional lapping. So if you look at 20 dia coupler example, so conventionally 50D lapping if I consider, for that the lapping length comes to around 1000 and the weight of that 1000 bar would be somewhere around 2.5 kg. And if I consider 60 rupees as the rate per kg of the steel, the lapping cost of material comes to be around 150 rupees. Plus labor 10% I'm adding. So total cost of conventional lapping per lap comes to 165 rupees. On the contrary, if I'm doing a coupler, so my threading cost for both the side comes to be around 50 rupees and then cost of coupler is 75. So my cost of lapping is 125 vis-a-vis conventionally 165. So per lap I'm saving 40 rupees. And if I translate that to per ton basis, you are ending up saving almost 2000 rupees per metric ton if you are transitioning from conventional lapping to coupler. So this is in addition to what we saw in cut and bend where the wastage is in our scope. So overall, you are able to reduce your cost of reinforcement by almost 12 to 15%, which is a huge cost when it comes to the project. And the last solution that we have in our portfolio is welded wire mesh, wherein we are offering it in a range from 2 till 12 From 2 mm to 5 mm, we are offering it in the form of rolls, wherein up to 30-meter length of roll are delivered, and the width is 2400 mm. And from 5.1 to 12 mm, we are offering it in the form of a standard sheets. So the length of that sheet would be 6 meter and width would be 2.4 meter. The unique part of this solution is we are offering it at an interval of 0.1 mm. In TMT, you have 8, 10, 12. These are the standard sizes that are there. But for structural consultant, we are offering it as a tool wherein you can design using 6, 6.1, 6.2, 6.5, 7, 7.1. So these are unconventional sizes which we are able to offer so that you can optimize your design as much as possible. So whatever is your AST coming, we'll try and match closer to that requirement. So far, you've been working only on the spacing part, but here we've given you two parameters of coming closer to your AST. One is the diameter of the bar, and of course spacing you can always work upon. So these are some of the applications, main applications which would be relevant for the audience. One is for the grade slab in the flooring in the warehouses, and second is the industrial flooring. So there have been so much instances wherein we were able to reduce steel consumption by almost 25 to 30%, and reduce man-hour by almost 80%, which is a huge saving. I think Tata Steel would be the first company which is saying that apna steel consumption kam karo, instead of selling more steel. Because we want to work on giving value-added offerings and modern reinforcement solution to the industry and contribute in a way by giving optimal solution, because steel is made through natural resources, and if we can contribute through our value-added offering in terms of reducing the carbon footprint, we'll be more than happy to do that. So that's in brief about the downstream solution I have. I'll hand over to Amit now.
Thanks. Thanks, Parag. So quickly to the other things. So Parag has covered the long products vertical and the solutions part of that. Now we are just moving from foundation to superstructure and tube as a shape of material inspired by the nature. So it has a very unique proposition or characteristics that it has a better strength to weight ratio plus better resistance to other loads because of these properties, and better rigidity and ductile load carrying behaviors. Plus, if you see the second part of it, it also attracts lesser atmospheric loads like drag for the winds and all. Plus the aesthetics. So there is the most important part why architects are also preferring tubes and probably exposed tubes in their structures. From Tata Structura, we can produce up to 400 of square hollow sections, 400, 200 of rectangular hollow sections, and as big as 600 dia circular hollow sections. Some of the sections are displayed outside. You may just have a look. And these are helping us to achieve these kind of aesthetically beautiful structures, starting from this Agni sculpture, which is there in Jamshedpur. You can say the bendability because of the high elongation properties. Plus this railway station terminal building in Visheshwaraya, IICC Dwarka. The Dronagiri railway station is very near to Mumbai. We have created 35-meter span just by using 450 dia YST 355 grade steel tube for that particular, and this beautiful structure like this Dhanadanda auditorium in Kolkata. So we accept that PEB has revolutionized this construction space in India, and we agree the benefit of PEB. But when you talk about, say, larger span warehouses, which is a need at this moment to cover some of the manufacturing locations because of the MOEF guidelines, where you have to go for, say, span up to 75 meter and in some cases up to 150 meter. Tube has unique property with which we can create this space frame kind of structure for larger span sheds to have a better construction time, cost, maintenance, and kind of a span versus space that benefit. Adding to that tube part, we also felt that this plate fabricated sections, which is downstream of our flat product vertical. So we are focusing on this particular product or solutions, and we have started manufacturing it from our own TGS beam lines. So not only we are selling bare 3 plated beams, we are also adding value to that, like all child parts, punch and holes. And last presentation what Ms. Nilanjana was presenting about that JW Marriott building. So some of the beams are used from Tata Steel's plate fabricated sections only, and we have a facility for painting as well. This is one unique building in Odisha where you can see that we have used that 400 as column. Primary beam is like this plate fabricated sections, and the secondary beams are also 400, 200 tubes. And this was executed by L&T. Some unique benefit, and when we interact with the probably the supervisor, the down the line people, they talk about some more benefits, what we normally forget to capture. The supervisor, he will tell me that how that 400 column is easy for him to grab, means kind of grip with the help of slings, and how it's helping him to get a better advantage in terms of safety while lifting that particular member at that particular place. Plus, it has a less distortion while we normally, from fabrication point, say that was in Vilai, to the erection point is Odisha, when we normally transport any beam, which is more of a, say, rolled beam, so there is a chances of distortion, and which will affect your matching of holes at site. So, but for the case of, say, this column sections, which is like tube column, they did not experience that kind of problems to erect. So those are few insights from those sites, and by adding this concrete filled tube concept, so we will definitely get better advantage of tube as a beam column or frame material, because it will give you the confined effect of tubes, and you will get a lot of resistance to the other failures. Coming to the Nestin, House of Nestin portfolio, as I was speaking, so this is one construction solution initiative by Tata Steel, which has been there for last 10 years, and now Nestin, led by Prakhar, is a 100 people team, where you will find people from civil engineering background for safety coordinator, there are people for execution, and structural engineer, and even an architect is also there to support this entire team, because we understand this, to run this entire ecosystem construction, it has to be kind of all expertise to be there in that particular ecosystem to create the solutions like EasyNest, the restroom, which is a kind of a panelized construction, modular construction, and the smarter version is Smart EasyNest. The new thing is like ChargeNest, which is a EV charging station by Nestin. We have Nest Studio, which is a rooftop expansions of any houses, and we have LGSF solution called HappyNest, which is a multi-story steel building. We are into LGSF, Tata Steel. And last but not the least, MobiNest. Why this is important? Because the COVID time, we created a 550 bed hospital there in Kasaragod during the lockdown period, just in 3 months' time. And that modular concept of Nestin has enabled to have this project in just 3 months' time. So yeah, understand. So few more slides on Nestin, that yes, we are into now catering even 2 lakh square feet of one single building and multi-story building. So from modular to multi-story, and the next thing for Nestin is like 3D volumetric construction, which is the future for construction. So we talk about sustainability, and if we talk about Tata Steel, so we are responsible steel certified because of our social and environmental responsibility. So we are a responsible steel certified company. We have EPDs for many of our products like Tata Structura, Tata Steel, Tata Tiscon are EPD certified. If you're asking, looking for LEED certification, that EPD will definitely help you. We have also Green Pro certification of many of our products, as Parag has also mentioned. So this will help you to get the Green Building certification or IGBC certification. So that's it. So the purpose of coming together as a house of construction brands from Tata Steel is like, now we are at one phase, and we are there to solve your problem. We are, probably you have seen that many of us are actually civil engineer by background, but we are dealing with these products just to understand more the customers' need and help them in their required time. Lastly, this was a stage where we concluded the Notions of India design competition, and this sculpture was the winner for the Notions of India design competition 2 years back. This is the 20-meter high sculpture, 20 ton of structural hall section has been used. This is in Ranchi, so we have successfully installed that. You can see the beauty of steel, which can be created through steel hollow sections, and not only hollow sections, steel even. And we welcome you to have a look and pay a visit to this particular sculpture. So thank you for your patient hearing.